hair on my microphone.
All
It was
right.
tickling my face.
Okay, fine.
Hello, and welcome to the podcast. Bringing a fun energy into this one, folks.
Yeah, definitely.
Hi, my name is Hannah.
And I'm Donovan.
And I ripped the shit out of my back, and so I am in quite a lot of pain, and I'm lying down flat on a heating pad.
Yeah, so if Hannah sounds horizontal this episode, it is because of that.
There's a horizontal quality to her that I just can't put my thumb on. This is part 2 of Eclipse, the third of the Twilight saga.
Oh, boy.
And saga it is. My gosh.
Yeah.
Look how far we've come. Look how far we still have to go.
Yep, it's come so far, and in the end, it...
Oh, I was going Hairspray. Come so far, that one. You're right, in the end it doesn't even matter.
All right, so tell me about the rest of this stupid book.
Previous disclaimers still apply. You're not dumb if you like Twilight. I think the books are dumb.
Yeah.
And I'm telling my boyfriend how dumb I think that they are.
Yeah.
And I do want to say, like, I don't understand why Bella likes Edward, and I don't understand why Edward likes Bella. But I guess what I understand is the fantasy of being wanted. And I get that, and I understand why people like that. And there are other romance things or romance adjacent things that I read and I'm like, oh, this is fun. I like both of these people. I'm enjoying watching them fall in love.
Yeah.
But like, I don't like this.
I guess that would be probably the biggest misconception I had about Twilight before kind of coming into this, is that I guess I thought that Edward and Jacob were more like fawning over Bella, and they were more like, I don't know, trying to win her affections outwardly. I don't know. It just seems so like Edward just seems like kind of a dick, and Jacob, you know, he's fine, I guess.
Yeah, when I think about like romance properties that I do like, there's a lot of I'm going to show you that I love you. I'm going to prove to you that I love you. Or like I'm going to do things to make your life better and easier. But Bella keeps insisting that Edward doesn't have to do any of that because she's already got the greatest thing, which is him. That's all that she needs is just him. And I'm like, I don't think it works like that, actually.
No, in fact, that's actually a bad thing to have your story be about.
Yeah. If the best thing is that she already has Edward, then like, where is the story to go?
Yeah.
Like, where are we going from here? Because she's done it. She's already got the thing.
Yeah.
What are we doing here? So we also need to talk about my biggest problem with the Twilight books, which is that everyone else besides Bella and Edward is so much more interesting than the main characters.
True.
Bella is a vacant space holder, and the most interesting thing about Edward is that time he decided to eat bad guys for a little bit before going back to Carlisle and being a quote-unquote vegetarian vampire.
When did that happen?
He tells Bella about it in the next book when he's like he wanted to eat he wanted to eat humans, he wanted to like be a vampire, and so he was only going to eat bad guys, so he like determined bad guys by reading their minds.
So he became Dexter?
Yeah.
Okay, once again, that's actually kind of a cool idea for a story. It's like a vampire, and he can read minds, and so he's like, I'm going to eat bad people.
Yeah.
That's kind of interesting.
Right. Yeah, it happens in the next book, and it's like, I don't think that Edward even gets a whole chapter to tell this to Bella, like, say, Rosalie gets to talk about her past, or Jasper gets to talk about his past.
There's a really common piece of writing advice where they say if you're writing a story, you want to write a story about the most interesting part of the characters' lives.
Yeah.
You want to take, like, their most interesting thing and, you know, you want to put that on the page. You know, it's not interesting to read about a character who's doing something, but like, oh, they used to be way cooler. There are some interesting subversions of that trope. Free Ren recently, anime has kind of been a big one. But generally speaking, that's good writing advice, and this book is not following that advice
At all.
At all, whatsoever.
No. And then, meanwhile, like, Carlisle, Alice, Jasper, and Rosalie all have wild-ass backstories. They are far more interesting than Edward or Bella is. And I mean, even, like, the Colettes have, like, interesting group dynamics and, like, fun jokes and stuff. As a quick, like, refresher, Carlisle reinvented how vampires work. Nobody ever thought, hey, why don't we just eat animals instead of humans? No one ever thought of that before Carlisle did.
Yeah, no one.
No one. Yeah. Alice skipped her way out of an asylum and showed up where Jasper was going to be and dragged his ass off to their new family with the Cullens. Earlier we got Rosalie's backstory, but with the brutalization and vengeance quest. And now we get Jasper and his wild ass backstory. So Jasper used to be a Confederate soldier.
Okay, no, fine. Yeah, classic vampire shit.
Yeah, there's a really good video by Princess Weeks where she talks about why there are so many vampires that are also Confederate soldiers. And, like, just watch her video because she's going to be a lot more eloquent than I am. But, like, hey, maybe stop doing that. Like, maybe just stop doing that. Maybe stop having people who used to fight for the Confederacy and some of them owned slaves be, like, regular people and not express any remorse for the fact that they owned human beings. Maybe stop doing that. Yeah, so he was a Confederate soldier. He was the youngest major in Texas, but he also lied about his age. Like, he lied about his age to get into the army, and then he was super promoted to be a major. Except, I think he also said something about, like, never seeing battle. I don't know how he did that. That part's not explained.
Did he go to the military academy?
I don't know, because he said that he lied about his age to get in. Wouldn't they have records or something?
Okay, whoa, okay. I'm sorry. Is this book suggesting, I might have to read this, because is this book suggesting that this guy lied about his age to get into the army, and then they looked at him and said, well, you know, he's never been in a battle, and he didn't go to military academy, but by God, he's got the makings of a officer here.
Yeah, I guess. Like, I have no idea how he made it to major.
That's the least realistic thing in this book full of vampires and werewolves. That makes no fucking sense.
They don't really talk about his actual time in the army, because what actually happened that was interesting was that he was, like, going somewhere, like delivering a message or perhaps going home for a bit, but he was traveling alone, and he stumbled upon these 3 other women, and those 3 women were all vampires, and they turned him into a vampire, and they were like, hey, you're so good at tactician and army stuff, come fight in our vampire civil war that is happening across the southern United States and Mexico. So then Jasper fought
Once again, what? That sounds like a way more interesting story.
Yeah, so then Jasper fought in the vampire civil war. It's really it's wild.
I'm sorry, isn't every war between vampires like a vampire? What makes it a specifically civil war?
So the tactics that they were using to fight each other was that they would get they would turn a bunch of humans into vampires and have newborn vampires, right? And because when you first turn into a vampire, you still have all of your old human blood, and like that's the strongest you're ever going to be. So newborn vampires are a lot stronger than older established vampires.
Interesting.
Yeah. So they would turn a bunch of vampires, and then they would have newborns go in and like fight all of the other vampires. And then other people caught on to like this tactic. And so a bunch of people were turning a bunch of humans into a bunch of newborn vampires and then sending them all off to fight against each other all across, again, the Southwest and Mexico.
But why is it called the Civil War?
Because I don't know. It was just like a power struggle. Yeah.
Okay.
The biggest flaw in this is, of course, you have to keep killing people to get new vampires, and then also you keep having to like hunt people to feed your newborn vampires.
Yeah.
So one day the Volturi showed up and were like, you all can't be doing all of this. And so they just killed like an entire city full of vampires. And Jasper had taken whatever weekend that happened to like go visit somebody else.
He was on vacation that week.
He was just not there. So Jasper escaped this, and I think like the vampire that he was working with, whose name was like Maria, I think that she also survived somehow. Like she escaped out the back or something. Yeah. But like he's not seen her since. So Jasper is like, he's like the tactician of the group essentially, which also is weird because his vampire power is calm emotions. So like those kind of don't really like work together. But like whatever.
I've long since past trying to make sense of that kind of shit.
Yeah. So we get like one chapter on the backstories of all the far more interesting characters of the course of the series, and then over 1,000 pages of Bella and Edward arguing and telling each other, no, I love you more. And I'm so tired. They're so boring.
Yeah, they're the worst.
The only other thing that Bella spares a moment for this time around is thinking about becoming a vampire. And here is where I finally identify with Bella a little bit. I've never felt a connection to Bella in terms of wanting to be loved by an impossibly beautiful immortal being, but I do feel a strong kinship with Bella's time blindness in this book.
Oh, yeah.
So a few weeks have passed since the start of the book, and it's now 1 week from graduation. Bella and Edward's deal is that Bella gets to be a vampire after she graduates. Bella had been thinking about what plans she wanted to make to like pack her stuff and pretend to go to college and say goodbye to people and like, you know, what she's going to tell Renee and Charlie and all of that kind of stuff. But in all that thinking, she didn't execute any of that. And now Isabella Swan and I have something in common because I do that shit all the time.
Yeah, you do.
while she's freaking out about the fact that it's like 1 week until graduation, she's like, oh no, I'm actually not ready to be a vampire yet.
Okay, cool. Then don't be.
Yeah. And so she goes to tell Edward this. And, like, it's kind of gross that Edward now gets what he wants. Like, Bella admits that she's not ready to be a vampire, and Edward vows that he'll take care of her and protect her from Victoria and the army of newborns and the Volturi. And it's supposed to be romantic, but those are really easy words for Edward to say, because now Bella isn't going to be a vampire, and he gets more time with her after high school.
There's an army of newborns?
Yeah, that's what all of the deaths in Seattle is.
You did not explain that at all.
Oh, didn't I?
No,
Whoops.
not even a little bit. You said that there was a thing in Seattle, but not the reasoning why.
Thought for sure that I had.
Nope. Hannah, I just edited the last episode. You did not say it.
Yeah, okay. So they figure out that like all of the deaths in Seattle is like this aren't like someone is building an army of newborns.
Okay.
Right. Here's one of my particularly egregious grammars.
Oh boy. How many dashes are in it?
2.
Oh, well, that's showing some restraint there, Smire.
This simple knowledge, comma, today's date, dash, which was so obvious that I must have been subconsciously repressing it, dash, made the deadline I'd been impatiently counting down toward feel like a date with a firing squad. Stop. You don't need dashes and commas in the same sentence.
No, it's not as bad as that other one.
No, there have been worse, but just it's looking
not
at
great.
It's also like one paragraph and like it's only one sentence, and it's such a run-on sentence.
Yeah,
you could have said that much more succinctly.
Smire does a lot
without
of
all of the extra nonsense.
Throwback.
It's such a sunny day, such a sunny day, such a sunny day awaits for
So add to all of this the fact that Edward has said that he would turn Bella if she marries him, but Bella doesn't want to marry him right out of high school like some small town hick that got knocked up by her boyfriend. Put a pin in this for the next book.
Oh, good God.
It's important to Bella that Edward is the one who changes her, but he won't do that unless they're married. Becoming a vampire is a metaphor for losing your virginity, you see.
We already established this.
Yep.
And it sucks.
Bella and Carlisle have an agreement that he'll change her after graduation, but Bella really wants it to be Edward. In other vampire media, it, like, does matter who turns you, because, like, sometimes there's a relationship there.
Yeah,
like,
there's, like, the thrall and the, you know...
Yeah. In True Blood, it's described as, like, closer than a parent and child, and then in other media is, like, you're closer to a thrall. Mm-hmm. But nothing like that is in the Smireverse. Like, there's no shades of that. Nobody says anything about, like, he's my maker or whatever. But it's still very important to Bella that Edward lips be the last good thing she feels. She also says that it being his venom in her veins would make her his in a more tangible way. Gross. And that goes back to Bella's core and deep insecurity. She doesn't feel like she's beautiful or interesting enough to hold Edward's attention, but she will be when she becomes a vampire. Edward keeps saying that he loves her as she is, but he can't describe what he loves about her, or Smire risks her teen audience losing interest because then they can't step into Bella's shoes.
Yeah, we talked about that before, too, how Bella's like, he likes all those books that I like, and music and things, too. What things specifically? You know, those ones.
Edward's like, I love the whole of you. I love every part. Describe it, please.
Yeah.
No? Can't? Okay. And so now we've come to the worst thing that Jacob does and what made him a deeply unlikable character to most of the fandom.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So Bella's hanging out at Jacob's place, and Jacob says that he loves her also, and then he's going to fight for her, and that she should stay human and marry him and be happy.
Okay, a little out of nowhere.
I mean, it's been building, like, you know, Bella has known that Jacob has a crush on her.
A crush is very different than I'm, like, saying my love for you and you should marry me. Like...
Well, I mean, he didn't say you should marry me, but he's saying you should stay human and be with me.
Okay.
The implication being that we'll be together forever, eventually get married. Because, like, that's what she's doing with Edward.
I guess...
This does go back to our deep, gross feelings about, like, you have to marry the person you were dating in high school and, like, there are no other options, and how much you and I both hate that.
Yeah. One of my least favorite tropes is the characters who are essentially children sometimes, like 12 and 13 and 14, and all of them just marry other 12 and 13 and 14-year-olds in their friend group. Obviously, they wait till they're older, but...
Yeah, but, like, the idea that you're going to be with like, you're going to be friends with someone when you're 14, and then you're going to marry that person when you're 25. You are different people.
And maybe it happens once in a while, but the fact that, you have these groups of, like, 10 or 12, characters, and just all of them pair off just grosses me the hell out.
Yeah.
Meet other people.
You will be better for it. Yeah, so Jacob's gonna, like, he says, like, I'm gonna fight for you because I love you. I know that you love me too. And then he kisses her without asking and ignores Bella trying to shove him off. He's werewolf strong, remember? So, yeah. He finally lets up and Bella decks him right in the goddamn face and breaks her hand.
Well, you know what? Good for her.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Bella very clearly says to Jacob, I don't want to be with you. I love Edward. And Jacob says, you're just saying that. You'll change your mind. Ew.
Gross. Oh, God.
In any other circumstances, this friendship is over.
Yeah.
Like, Jacob has just assaulted Bella and said, no, you liked it, actually. I'm not friends with you anymore, guy.
Yeah, and that sucks because up till now, he was the much more reasonable one.
Yes.
Oh.
This is also a moment of suck from Charlie as, like, Bella has broken her hand. She goes home. Jacob is going, like, he's driving her home because she broke her hand. And so she goes into the house and Charlie is like, what happened? And she's like, I broke my fist punching Jacob because he kissed me. And Charlie kind of goes, good job shooting your shot, kid. And it's like, God damn it, Charlie, what the fuck? I was rooting for you. We were all rooting for you.
I mean, okay, I can imagine there being some, but that's not the first thing you say. I can imagine Charlie later on, just the two of them being like, hey, Jacob, I appreciated that you tried. Maybe don't kiss her without asking.
Yeah.
But, and now, like, I'm going to have to ask you to fuck off. Like,
if I remember correctly, I think in the movie, Charlie is like, you gotta leave, kid. Yeah. Like, you can't be here right now.
Yeah, movie Charlie is way better than book Charlie.
Yeah.
Movie Charlie is actually kind of awesome.
Book Charlie does later express regret at not doing his best by Bella. Specifically, he wishes that he had taught her how to throw a punch so that she wouldn't break her hand.
That's fair.
And also he says that she should be allowed to make her feelings clear without having to hurt herself to do it. He also advises her to hit him in the gut next time. He's like, don't punch his face, hit him in the gut. Aim lower.
Okay.
Probably he should have a conversation with Jacob about not kissing people without their permission, but Bella wouldn't be there for that, and so thus we will not see it.
Yeah, we don't get to see that because it's perspective, yeah.
Yeah. Blah, blah, blah. Bella, Edward, and Alice graduate, and Alice throws a massive and extravagant graduation party for all of them. Bella does not want this. She does not want this graduation party, but Alice is going to do it anyway, so Bella's got to be there.
Yeah, she's going to drive her Porsche around because she got a Porsche in this book.
Yeah. Well, the party is at the Cullens' house. Like,
yeah.
She turns their whole house into basically like a New York club, I think is how Bella describes it. And, like, literally the entire senior class and probably most of, like, the junior and sophomore class all show up. And there's, like, dance music playing, but the way that it's described, it doesn't sound like anybody's dancing. It feels very, like, Mormon to me. Like, it feels
Although, honestly, a high school party where there's dance music playing but nobody's dancing is very high school.
Fair. But pre-assault, Bella had invited Jacob to her graduation party, and so he shows up, and she's like, the fuck are you doing here? I don't want you here. And he's like, you invited me. And she was like, did you not think that the circumstances had changed?
I also punched the fuck out of you.
Yeah.
Do you want to do that too?
Yeah. But, like, Jacob also gives her, like, a graduation present, which is he carved this bracelet. It's like a little charm bracelet, and he carved, like, a little wooden wolf figure on it. And she loves it, and so she, like, kind of forgives him.
Okay. She is allowed to say, like, hey, that was not cool, but I forgive you. But at the same time, like, fucking, no, let's not.
They figured out that, like, well, they suspect that someone is raising an army of newborns in Seattle. And Alice is pretty sure that whoever that is coming to Forks to get them. They have not figured out who it is, and they're, like, all the way up until the end, they're kind of like, either it's Victoria or the Volturi, and it's like, why would the Volturi bother with this army of newborns? That's insane. Like, they don't need to do that. They have a bunch of bodyguards who all have magic powers. Why bother with that? But they're like, it could be them. I'm like, no, it couldn't.
So, it's obviously Victoria, right?
Yeah.
I mean, duh.
We don't figure that out for quite a while yet.
No, we did. We did right.
You and I did. These guys didn't. I'm pointing at the screen with my
Jasper,
script.
he's so good at tactics.
Yeah,
he
right?
just knows how battles work.
So this is also when Jacob, at the party, Jacob finds out about like the incoming vampire battle, and he and the other werewolves are like, oh shit, there's a chance to kill vampires. Let's fucking go, boys.
Yeah.
It's time. And so there's like, they've kind of the Quillets and the Cullens have kind of like extended their truce, so they're gonna fight together against whatever this incoming thing is.
That's cool. Does this new truce cover the whole like making vampire thing? No. Yeah, of course not.
Of course not.
That would be smart. It would make sense, but okay.
Yeah, very annoyingly, it was Bella that figured out murders that have been happening in Seattle that the Cullens suspect were evidence of someone raising an army of vampire newborns, and that the person who broke into her house and stole her clothes are related, so whoever took her clothes was like, they're coming for Bella. So she figured that part out. Didn't figure out that it's Victoria.
The one vampire who has been trying to kill her now for a book and a half.
Yeah, we're 280 pages into this book, and she doesn't figure out it's Victoria until it's like from the last book for like 50 more pages.
Why the clothes? Is it because it's like has her smell?
Yeah, because it has her smell, so they can track her. Because Victoria only like she doesn't necessarily care about the Cullens. She just wants to kill Bella, but Bella is surrounded by the Cullens, so she needs a bunch of vampires with her to back up.
Sure, fine, whatever.
Again, I want to remind you all that in the last book, Victoria was running around trying to get close to Bella and being rebuffed by werewolves. That was March. It's been 3 months. These characters, who have been told over and over again are smart, have seemingly forgotten that there was a murderous vampire out for vengeance over the course of 3 months. Maybe they should stop going to high school and move on to college.
Maybe they should go back to preschool.
So in any case, since the vampires and the werewolves are working together now, they need to train together so that, the werewolves know that it's different fighting newborns than it is like regular vampires. So they have a training session in the baseball clearing so that Jasper can teach them all how to fight newborns because he knows how to do that.
Hooray!
Yay, baseball clearing.
Vampire baseball. Vampire baseball.
So here we also learn that the werewolf pack is a lot bigger than they initially thought. There are about 10 werewolves and seven of the Cullens against what they estimate to be about 20 of their enemies.
Okay, so 10 werewolves and 7 vampires versus 20-ish vampires.
Yeah.
That's a decently even fight.
It's a decently even fight, especially because, Jasper already has a lot of experience doing this. You cannot beat Alice because she can see what you're doing before you do it, and Edward can read minds.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
And Jasper's a master tactician, apparently.
Master tactician, yeah. And also, all of the werewolves are, reading each other's minds continuously, so they're very good at, coordinating attacks.
Yeah, they're a pack.
Yeah, they got pack dynamics.
Yeah.
So Jacob also comes up with a plan to lead the newborns into a trap by having Bella walk into the meadow and then using his scent to mask hers and hide her elsewhere, stationing Seth, one of the younger wolves, with her. Hey, remember in the last 2 books when Bella wasn't allowed near any of the action?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I love how it's like, you can't be around werewolves. They're dangerous. Actually, we're going to work with them, and we're going to use you as bait.
Yeah.
Fucking.
Well, so Bella wants to, be in the clearing to, be more of a distraction, but everyone's like, Bella, we're going to be so concerned about you that, we're not going to be taking care of ourselves.
Yeah.
And, the end of this book is so annoying, because she's just like, I'm not doing anything to help. I can't do anything. All of these people are going to get hurt, and they're going to die, and it's going to be my fault, and I can't do anything to stop it or help. And it's like, can you, stop panicking? That would be helpful. And I say this as a person who does also catastrophize a lot. Girl, you got to realize when the pattern's in happening. You got to take a deep breath and calm down.
Hannah?
Yeah?
You have more than one brain cell to rub together. Something I can't say about Bella.
Fair. But Bella is so scared that something bad is going to happen to Edward that she asks him to stay with her out of the fight, taking away one of the strongest fighters that the Cullens have. So
Bella, that's stupid, although I know it's going to come back around and it's going to help because somehow Victoria's going to get behind the lines and it's going to be a battle between Edward and Victoria.
Are you Alice? Can you see the future?
I can see the future.
Bella and Edward also have this very annoying conversation about werewolf.
Sorry. Now they're having a very annoying conversation?
An additionally annoying conversation about werewolf dynamics, and Edward's really kind of gross about it.
Yeah.
So, he can read their minds, but he can read, all of their minds, right? So when they're in the meadow, he's just, listening into all of their thoughts.
Okay.
And because they're a bunch of, teenage boys, they're like, you know, and they'll have like heightened emotions because of werewolf stuff. It's not that they're unfocused, but like, you know, they're all constantly thinking. You've got a million fucking thoughts going on in your head all of the time.
Yeah.
And there are 10 of those guys, right?
Yeah. Have you been around 10 teenage boys before?
Not since I was in high school.
Yeah, and I wouldn't recommend it.
No. But he talks about how interesting their minds are, all have individual thoughts, but then they will also all coalesce. So like it'll be 10 people all having one conversation or like multiple conversations, and then like they'll all say like one sentence together kind of thing.
Interesting.
Which, yeah, is kind of interesting. But, you know, he just tells Bella a bunch of stuff that is neither of their goddamn business because he's just in their heads. And so he's like, oh, I was watching this soap opera earlier about werewolf stuff. Do you want to hear everything that happened to these real people who are ostensibly your friend?
Yeah.
So now we get to Leah Clearwater, my beloved.
Does Edward know that Jacob kissed Bella?
Yeah. Yeah, she tells him.
Okay. I was going to say, because like, how did he react to that?
Like, as annoying and jealous and possessive as we have seen Edward be,
yeah,
he is like perfectly gentlemanly every time Bella says anything about Jacob and Jacob's feelings for her and her potential feelings for him, which makes me feel like he's manipulating her. Like, it makes me feel like he is being like the perfect boyfriend of being like, yes, you can have whatever you want, because he knows that she's always going to pick him.
He was mad that she went to talk to him earlier in this book, and now he's just like, boys will be boys, I guess.
He says, oh no, he offers to break his face or whatever.
Okay, I guess that, yeah, fine.
But Bella won't let him do it. She doesn't want any violence between the two of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Back to Leah Clearwater, my beloved.
Oh, no.
Leah is the only female werewolf. They didn't think that girls could be werewolves, and Leah did. And so Leah...
Why? I'm sorry, do female wolves not exist?
Well, there's never been a female werewolf in the history of the Quillette legends. Again, please remember, these are not actual authentic stories to Quillette people who are real people, and you should seek them out and listen to their own stories and their own voices. Yeah. But in Smireverse, there's never been a legend of a female werewolf. It's never happened. So...
Did they just never try?
Well, I mean, it's something that just happens. Like, one day a kid who is supposed to become a werewolf just turns into a werewolf. It's not like they're bit or anything. There's no, like, mechanism.
Oh!
They just become a werewolf.
Okay, this is new. I didn't know this.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's something to do with, like lineage. Like, you can only be a werewolf if you are a direct descendant of, like, the first spirit warrior who turned into a wolf.
You gotta be part of the family.
Yeah.
You gotta... Okay, all right. Okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah, so Leah is the only female werewolf. Leah used to date Sam.
Yeah.
Sam has imprinted on Emily. Leah can now read Sam's mind, and Sam can read Leah's mind. And so Edward says that, like Leah is really bitter. Totally fair, babes. I get it.
Understandable.
So, like, she constantly is, like, bringing up stuff that the rest of the pack doesn't want to think about, and, like, being really angry and bitter about the fact that Sam, her boyfriend, is dating her cousin. Mm-hmm. Totally fair, babes. I get it. But, like, one of the things that she brings up is the fact that Embry probably shouldn't actually be here right now because his mom and dad are from, like, a different tribe in the Pacific Northwest, but because he is here, that means that his dad wasn't actually his dad, and the only people who could be his dad were 3 guys who were also married at the time, so Embry's probably the product of an affair. And also the fact that technically Jacob should be the alpha of the pack because, like, he is a more direct descendant or something like. And so, like, Edward is just telling all of this to Bella, and these are people who are her friends, and he's just, like, giving a bunch of gossip to her behind their backs. It's weird, and I don't like it. And
let me guess, Bella doesn't go like, "Hey, Edward, maybe, like, chill out with that." She's like, "Oh, interesting."
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
She said something about like the way that he looked like he had to put down an interesting book just as it was starting to get good. Hey, babes, those are people that you like.
Yeah, they're real human people with thoughts and feelings.
Hey, but don't forget how caring and unselfish Edward is. Edward gets weird and gross about the bracelet that Jacob made Bella because, of course, he does.
He's not weird and gross about him trying to kiss her, but he's weird and gross about the bracelet.
Well, he's upset that he's not allowed to give gifts to Bella, but like he doesn't ever put thought into anything that Bella actually wants. He just wants to throw like tuition money and cars and fancy clothes at her. That's not what Bella wants.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I legitimately, Edward, you've been alive for 80 goddamn years at this point, or whatever the fuck, 100 years, and you don't understand that there's a difference between like, I'm just gonna give you a bunch of money for something that is nice, or like I handcrafted a meaningful thing for you. Do you not get this?
No, he doesn't. He absolutely does not.
And we're supposed to think that he's like a caring, wonderful boyfriend?
I know, right?
My goodness. By the way, Hannah, I'm working on your birthday playlist.
Oh, thank you.
I don't know if you listened to the last one.
I did, yeah.
Good.
Yeah, so he just wants to buy her things, but Jacob made her something. He put time and effort into making something that Bella would actually like and wear. Bella does just end up accepting things that Edward gives her, and Alice too, to be fair. Alice ends up like foisting a bunch of stuff on her. They force luxury items on her until she is more and more like them.
That's fucked up.
Yeah. And then this is when Bella insists that Edward already gave her the greatest gift himself. Barf.
Wow.
Yeah, there's like a slow transformation of Bella into like this weird like wealth monster as she keeps being like, I don't need fancy gifts, I don't need like fancy cars, I don't need all of this stuff. I don't want you to throw me a giant flashy birthday party or graduation party. And Edward and Alice absolutely continue to just do stuff and like ignore her saying, I don't want this, and they just continue to do it. And it's weird and gross. And this is like, that's one of those things where now people are like, you know, you'll see a bunch of posts on like, am I the asshole of like, am I the asshole for walking out of this birthday party that I didn't want, that my friend foisted on me? And people are like, no, you're not the asshole, and you should probably set some stronger boundaries with that friend, or maybe end this friendship.
Yeah. Also, I have not read the book, so I don't know about this, but like reading the book, I can't imagine that Smire is ever trying to put out the idea that like the Cullens are wrong for doing this.
No.
Yeah, and like I would imagine she's probably kind of trying to get across that like, if anything, Bella should like just accept it and just be happy that she's got these people who are spending all this money on her.
Yeah, Bella never expresses gratitude for these kinds of things. Like, she's never like, thank you, I did actually like that. Mm-hmm. But like, people keep like, Edward and Alice keep telling her, I know you'll love this, or like, I know you'll be happy afterwards, or that kind of stuff. And like, she just kind of goes along with it. She doesn't say like, oh, I did actually really like that graduation party that you threw me. Thank you, Alice. Because she didn't like it. She didn't want to be there.
I hate all of these people.
Yeah. Anyway, we're zooming through this because the end of this book, like, it's kind of interesting stuff happens, but like, it's not as...
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it's kind of. Elsewhere, it happens stage left.
I see.
But anyway, it's the night before the big fight, and Bella is staying at the Cullens' house. Alice did this really quick, like...
Okay, what's Charlie doing with all of this? Does he know what's going on?
No. He has no idea what's going on because he doesn't know about vampires or werewolves. So what happened is all of the boys and Esme and Rosalie, frankly, are going on a hiking trip, which means they're going to go hunt, like to eat before.
Yes.
And Alice is staying home to like hang out with Bella and make sure that she's safe. And so Alice was like having dinner at Bella's house and was basically like, oh, beans, I'm going to be all alone in my big house and I'm going to be so sad. And Charlie was like, hey, Bella, you want to go spend the night with Alice? And Alice was like, huzzah, come over and play, Bella, yay!
Well, good job, Alice.
Yeah.
You knew it would work.
Yeah. And Billy has promised, like, Billy is taking Charlie out fishing to be like out on the water and away from town and
away
vampires.
from all the stuff happening, because
Yeah.
Billy is himself not a werewolf, right?
Billy himself is not a werewolf, but he is aware of both werewolves and vampires. So yeah,
I would have to imagine. Yeah. Okay.
And Bella would not be able to do a goddamn thing if she thought that her dad was in any sort of trouble.
Yeah.
So like it was easier to do this than to like, I don't know, send him to Florida to go see Renee. That's not happening.
No, certainly not. He's not going to go see his ex-wife in Florida.
Yeah, his ex-wife and her new husband.
Yeah, no.
So Bella is staying the night at the Cullens' house. However, Edward has not left for the hunting trip yet. So he is at the house. Alice actually isn't at the house. She did go on the hunting trip. So it's just Edward and Bella alone in the house.
For fuck's sake.
They kiss a bunch and Edward gives her his contribution to her chime bracelet, which is a shiny crystal heart. He insists it's crystal. Later, Alice drops a line of being like, why, he already got a diamond on you, when Bella is complaining about like a ring, like the engagement ring. Bella doesn't realize that the big chunky crystal is not a crystal and is in fact a diamond. And they're just lying to her. And she's so dumb.
I mean, a diamond is a crystal.
Yeah, fair. So then they talk about what they want out of their relationship going forward. Edward wants to marry Bella and pay for her school and buy her a fancy car and have her stay human for a few more years. Bella wants to be a vampire right now and for Edward to be the one to bite her. And she also wants to have sex before she turns into a vampire. Edward doesn't want to have sex before they get married. Bella doesn't want to get married before she gets turned into a vampire, but she does want to have sex before. So you have to put the fox in the boat with the sack of grain and then leave the goat on the goose on the shore. It's very like they
and the pilot was the wife.
Yeah. No, the doctor was the mother.
Oh, that's right. They don't bury dead doctors.
What the fuck are we talking about? I got lost there. Yeah, so they're just, it's like, there's just circular conversation of like, please marry me. I don't want to marry you right out of high school, but I want to be a vampire. But I'm not going to bite you and turn you into a vampire until we get married.
I'm gonna say a gross thing.
What?
You probably don't want a vampire hymen. I'm just saying.
Yeah, there's a bit of that in True Blood where somebody gets turned into a vampire before they have
Yes, I remember.
Yeah.
I also watched True Blood against my will.
Don't know if that would work the same way here because they're made out of stone, but I don't know. And I'm really glad Stephanie Meyer didn't settle us with this. That we don't have to find out.
Hey, you should check out my new band, Stone Hymen. Stone Hymen sounds like a band that would have existed in the 70s.
But Bella does, over the course of this very exhausting and circular conversation, Bella does end up accepting his proposal. Like, she said, yes, I will marry you. Even though she was already going to. I don't know what the fuck we're doing here.
Yeah, well, okay. Not official, but...
And we get this. We'll see about that, he smiled complacently. I suppose you don't want your ring now. I had to swallow before I could speak. You suppose correctly. He laughed at my expression. That's fine. I'll get it on your finger soon enough. I glared at him. You talk like you already have one. I do, he said, unashamed. Ready to force upon you at the first sign of weakness. You're unbelievable. Do you want to see it? He asked. His liquid topaz eyes were suddenly shining with excitement. No, I almost shouted, a reflex reaction. I regretted it at once. His face fell ever so slightly. Unless you really want to show it to me, I amended, gritting my teeth together to keep my illogical terror from showing. That's all right, he shrugged. It can wait. I sighed. Show me the damn ring, Edward. He shook his head. No. I studied his expression for a long minute. Please? I asked quietly, experimenting with my newly discovered weapon. I touched his face lightly with the tips of my fingers. Please, can I see it? You're the most dangerous creature I've ever met. It's textbook. It is textbook manipulation. You couldn't get any better than that. Ew and gross.
I hate them.
Yeah, me too.
I am glad that they're together so that they can't infect anyone else.
Bella at least has the excuse of, she's a stupid teenager, but,
yeah. And I was about to say, thank God that they're going to be vampires so they can't breed, but we all know how that goes.
Oh,
no. Spoilers.
So it is now the day of the big fight. They go through this.
I'm glad they planned this big fight. Did they have to call Victoria on the phone and be like, hey, Victoria, come meet us in the field at 3:30. Okay, bye.
No, that would have been very funny. Alice just saw when they were going to come.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting that she can see the future.
See the future.
It's almost like having somebody who can see the future takes away all drama.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So they go through with this plan of Bella laying down a trail into the baseball/ambush clearing and
the baseball/ambush clearing.
Yeah.
Good. I'm glad we got that settled.
And Jacob carries Bella to a campsite where she'll be safe and out of the way.
Sure.
And so we, the audience, won't get to see any of the action either. Bella and Jacob have another conversation where Jacob is like, I love you, be with me. And Bella is like, no, I love Edward. And nothing gets resolved. And now we get to the Cuck tent.
I forgot about the Cuck tent. Fuck. Oh, God.
So this campsite is way up in the mountains, and it's really cold and snowing. They're so far up in the mountains that it is snowing.
They're way up there.
It is snowing in June in the mountains, yeah. Despite all the preparations and the heavy sleeping bag, Bella is freezing to death. Hey, you camp a lot, and something happened in here, and I wanted to ask you a question.
Yeah.
If it's very cold, are you supposed to sleep with your shoes on?
No.
Yeah, that's what I
You
thought.
are 100% not supposed to do that.
Yeah, Bella's like in her sleeping bag in all of her clothes with also her shoes on. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't think you're supposed to do that.
So you want to be dressed up as much as possible. You want to have as many layers of clothing on, but you would rather be naked and dry than clothed and wet when
Yeah.
you're trying to survive like in I'm in like a sleeping bag is
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know, you want that like cuz the cold will just sap all the, you know, and having your shoes where you've been walking around in the snow and stuff, that means there's just going to be moisture inside there,
Yeah.
and it's just going to trap that in there, and it's going to make everything cold. It's bad. You don't want that.
That's kind of what I thought. I thought that there was something about like not cutting off, but also like kind of somewhat restricting circulation.
I
So
mean,
that, like,
that's probably also true, but
Yeah.
that
so yeah, Bella is
maybe
freezing.
they could have brought her to a slightly warmer campsite,
You would think.
or maybe get her a slightly like better rated.
Well, so
sleeping
they have
bag.
they have like a shit ton of camping equipment because like they're as cover for going hunting. They're always like we camp a lot, so like they buy a lot of camping equipment.
Okay.
So like they have a lot of stuff and they have a lot of good stuff. And Bella has got like Edward bought her like a really fancy winter coat to keep her warm.
Sure.
Whatever. But like it's still very cold and Bella is a teenager and she is pretty skinny, so like she doesn't have a lot of insulation going on. They also didn't say anything about like food, and I'm like, no, yeah, they brought dehydrated food, but I'm like, you couldn't make her a soup? Like you couldn't heat up and make her a soup? That would warm her up. What about a cup of tea?
Granola bars.
Yeah. But
Light a fire, maybe.
Bella is freezing to death. Like she's so cold she gonna die. Not actually gonna die, but like she's very, very cold. But Edward can't do anything about this because he is made
He
out
has
of marble.
no
He is-
body heat. Yeah.
He has no body heat. But Jacob does have body heat because he's got a fever of 100 in werewolf. Canonically, he's like, I think it was like 108.9 degrees.
Yeah, he's like hotter body
Yeah.
temperature than a normal person.
So there's a funny bit where Edward is like, he like yells at Jacob to go get a space heater if he wants to be useful. And at this point, Jacob is like a wolf. And so he like leaves and comes back and is the human is like, what do you mean grab a space heater? I am a space heater. And so like he asks Bella like, hey, do you want me to warm you up? And she's like, yeah. And Edward's like, please, I guess. And so, so
Hang on a second. Let me just look up some tags on AO3 for this tent scene. And oh my god, my computer's melting. Oh god. Oh no.
So Jacob gets in the sleeping bag with Bella and he's very warm and she snuggles into him and she is very happy because he's very warm. And so Jacob and Bella are cuddling while Edward has to sit across the tent and watch.
I can see why you called it the Cuck tent.
It's the Cuck tent, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
This is a sex, like, in as much as there is sex in Twilight, this is a sex scene. Like,
Yeah.
like they even talk, so Bella kind of drifts to sleep, but she's, like, not fully asleep, so she is still listening to the conversation that Jacob and Edward are having, and, like, Edward keeps saying, can you please stop fantasizing about my girlfriend like that? And Jacob's like, you don't have to be reading my mind right now.
Yeah, I can't do anything about this, man.
Yeah.
I just can't. That's, I think, probably like the worst thing about having mind reading powers.
You can't turn it off.
The most prudish person is occasionally gonna have some pretty fucked up shit in their brain. It's
Yeah.
just gonna happen.
Yeah.
And if you read minds, you're just gonna see that. And it's gonna be all the people you don't want it to be.
Yeah. So the next day, Jacob is outside the tent while Edward and Bella are talking, and he overhears that they are engaged, which means that he has no hope of being with Bella anymore.
Yeah, because, no one's ever broken off an engagement before.
Yeah.
It's never happened.
He, like, runs off, like, howling in sadness. He's a wolf. He howls in sadness.
Yes, I know. I get it.
And Bella is like, no, Jacob, I have to talk to you. And Edward goes to go get him back. Edward, by the way, knew that Jacob was outside and also knew that he could overhear them. So he was like, yes, my plan to make him feel sad and know that, like, you're engaged to me and mine forever. It worked perfectly. He says it to Bella, and Bella's still like, yeah, I love you.
I can't wait for book 6 when she leaves both of them and goes to Egypt and marries a mummy.
Oh my god, that would be awesome. They're in the Pacific Northwest. She could run away with Bigfoot.
You go find Bigfoot. That's true.
Right. So Edward goes off and brings Jacob back, and Jacob and Bella have a conversation. Presumably Edward is far off not to hear it, but like he'll hear it sooner or later because he can hear everything.
Yeah.
And because Smire can't write a love interest that isn't manipulative, Jacob says that if he can't be with Bella, he's going to kill himself in the fight.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And that the only way that he'll promise to come back is if Bella says that she'll be with him instead of Edward. Bella, desperate not to lose anyone, agrees and they kiss. And Bella describes this kiss once again as more like assault. But Jacob now believes that he has a chance to be with Bella because she does have love for him. Not nearly as much as Edward, but she does love him. She describes their relationship as more that she needs Jacob in her life. Put a pin in that, but it's not coming back until the end of the next book.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
That thing I know, but we won't mention it right now because
because we're just going to scream about it forever.
Yeah, I hate it.
Jacob leaves and the fight starts. Edward is watching by reading Seth's mind and watching the whole pack. And so Bella, and then by extension we, the audience, are stuck listening to Edward's edited versions of events. Edward has also already proven that, like, when he is letting Jacob communicate through him, that he edits stuff. And, like, there's been a lot of stuff of, like, you edit, like, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Nobody ever tells each other, like, the full story, because these are all bad people.
I mean, everyone edits. Everyone's going to do that, but I get it. No, I totally... Does Edward have, like, a mind reading range?
So he can listen to Seth, and the werewolves have a range of like 300 plus miles.
Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I know, right? As long as they're wolves. If any of them are human form, they can't hear it. Yeah, so, the fight is going on, and oh no, Victoria and a newborn she created followed Edward sent and found them. You were right, yeah.
I mean, it was the most obvious thing of all time.
Like, right up until the end, when, like, Victoria finally appears, Bella was like, oh, so it was Victoria, not the Voltoria. I'm like, why did you ever think?
It's like Scooby-Doo. It's like literally the only person they've met for the last like week and a half aside from the group of them turns out to be the ghost, and they're like, Old Man Jenkins. And it's like, yeah, of course it was fucking Old Man Jenkins. You haven't met a single other person in over a week.
It's worse than that, because it's like, I don't remember what it was called, what was the Scooby-Doo where they were like all like children?
That was a pup named Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, and Fred was constantly like accusing Red Herring.
Yes,
the guy
but that was a joke.
Red Herring.
That was a joke, and also they were children.
I know, but like it's worse than that, because they're like, oh, it could be Red Herring. No, it's Victoria of Coles.
And then one time it was Red Herring.
Yeah.
Just like how one time it was Lupus on House.
It will eventually be the Volturi. Just not this time.
Also, Lupus means wolf.
We're back around.
Yeah.
Good segue. Yeah, so Victoria showed up in the clearing, and she brought one of, like, the newborns, some kid named Riley.
Just imagining a kid showing up with, like, a backwards ball cap and, like, a Monster Energy cut-off t-shirt. He's like, sup, I'm Riley.
Might as well be.
Yeah.
Like, this man is not a character.
Gonna eat you.
Edward and Seth start fighting Victoria and Riley, and so it looks for a second like they're both going to lose their fight, and Bella gets to live out her third wife fantasy by stabbing herself in the arm so that Edward and Seth can dispatch both of the enemy vampires.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that's right. I remember the story about the distracting the monster. Okay.
Yeah. She didn't need to, though. Like, Edward specifically says afterwards that she didn't need to. Like, she was worried that Seth was going to die, but Seth was faking it to get a better vantage on the vampire. And, like, Edward can read Victoria's mind. She's distracted by anger. Of course he's going to win. So, like, she fully did not need to stab herself in the arm to distract anybody.
So why did we have that plot point in the first place?
I don't know. So they all go down to baseball clearing after the fight, and the wolves have disappeared because the Volturi have sent someone to figure out what the fuck is actually happening in Washington.
Yeah.
There is one last of Victoria's newborn still alive. Carlisle gave her the option to surrender, but Jane and/or Felix rips her apart because they're very concerned with the rules. But, not so concerned that they would show up to Seattle any faster to take care of the problem.
Sure.
But, like, yeah, so Jane is there, and Felix is there, and I don't remember what the other guy's name is because he doesn't do anything interesting. And Edward is like, wow, it's very convenient that you got here now after the battle is all over, not, say, half an hour earlier when we could have used your help. And Jane's like, yeah, bye.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so Bella has spent this entire book afraid that someone she cared about was going to die. Jacob did get hurt in the fight. Like, he got crush hugged by a newborn vampire.
Oh no.
But he's gonna be fine. Like, don't worry about it. He's got super healing factor. He's gonna be fine.
He knows that Bella was lying to him, right?
about loving him.
Yeah.
She does love him. She's not going to be with him.
That's not what he wanted, though.
Yeah. Yeah. So Jacob did get hurt in the fight, but he's not going to die because then all of the Team Jacob girls won't buy the next book. But, like, there were enough...
All 10 of them.
All 10 of them. But, like, there were enough people here that someone could have died. Like, Smyre could have raised that tension by actually having someone be in legitimate danger or actually die. There are 10 werewolves. We could have lost one of them. Or Emmett.
Honestly, I hate to say it, but I was kind of thinking that Seth would be the sacrificial, like, pawn here.
Not sweet baby Seth.
I know, but, like, that's the thing. It's like he's the rando who's hanging out with the two main characters.
Yeah, in, like, a Buffy episode or something. Like, the
Yeah.
guy who just got introduced this episode. Yeah, he's dying. That's your red shirt right there.
Totally.
And then, you know, Leah would have something else to be angsty and bitchy about, and I can love her back. I can fix her, Donovan. I can make it better. I can fix her. I love her so much.
Yeah, I know your type.
Yeah, that's fair. But like, nobody dies. There's no consequences. There's no weight to this book at all. New Moon was a 450-page prelude to the last half of Eclipse, and nothing happens, and it doesn't even have the decency to not happen in front of us. We weren't even here when any of it didn't happen.
Great. Cool. Awesome. Looking forward to the last book where nothing else happens.
After everything, Bella goes to talk to Jacob, and they agree to just be friends, even though it hurts them both. He's, like, laid up in bed, and they're talking, and she's like, I can't be with you. I love Edward too much. And he's like, you could have been with me. And she's like, I could have been with you, but I can't be with you because I love Edward too much. And Jacob's like, that sucks. Friends? And she's like, yeah, friends. So Bella agreed to marry Edward before her next birthday so that she can be a vampire soon after. Alice gets to do the whole wedding. There's a last chapter from Jacob's perspective, and then that's it. That's the end. This book took place over like a month and a half.
Cool.
Yeah.
What's the Jacob chapter?
It's just Jacob talking about, like...
Just how sad he is?
Yeah, just how sad he is. He's, like, hanging out outside somewhere, and he's got, like, fake crutches because Billy told Charlie that he, like, got into a motorcycle
He's got to
accident.
pretend that he's, like, actually really hurt.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Leah's there, and they're talking, and, like, they're being kind of, like, acidic and sarcastic to each other, and
Sure.
then Jacob says something that actually hurts Leah, and so she runs away. And then Jacob is thinking about the fact that he'll never get to be with Bella and be in love and, like, have babies with her. And then he turns into a wolf and, like, runs off. And his friends are like, hey, man, are you okay? Can I come with you? Do you want, like, company right now? And he's like, no, fuck off.
I'm a lone wolf.
Yeah, and so, like, the end of the book is just him running and then thinking about, like, he could be a wolf forever. Like, there were people who turned into a wolf and never came back.
Yeah, like
So
in Animorphs.
Yeah, like in Animorphs. He could be Tobias.
I've not read Animorphs.
Wait, that was a shot in the dark?
No, but I knew that one of them did that.
Yeah. Well, he didn't voluntarily become a hawk.
Yeah,
He accidentally got stuck as a hawk.
He just got stuck as one, yeah.
Yeah, so he just, like, runs off, and he's like, if I go far enough, I won't have to think or hear about any of it ever again.
Yeah.
And then he comes back for the next book.
Of course he does.
Yeah, of course he does. Because, again, you can't not have Jacob there. All of the Jacob girls are not going to buy your book.
Yeah. All 10 of the Jacob girls, and then all the weird 45-year-old women who love Taylor Lautner.
Oh, that was so awkward and gross.
Yeah,
I
it
hate
sucks.
That.
Sucks.
Can we, as adults, please stop lusting over, like, teenagers, like, full stop?
Yeah, just let's not do that.
You can look at someone and be like, wow, you're really pretty, and then end the thought there. You don't have to be like, I want to kiss that face or lick those abs or whatever.
You can have that thought. Just don't share it with anybody.
Yeah.
Just keep that in the prison of your own mind.
Yeah.
And understand that that's okay.
Thought crimes are not crimes.
Yeah.
Telling teenagers you want to have sex with them is getting closer to a crime.
Yeah, that is a crime.
That is a crime?
That's actually a crime.
That's a crime.
I mean, if they're 18, it's not a crime, but before that it is.
Yeah. Yeah. This book is meh. It is one of the ones that I like better because, like, there's...
Yeah, you talked a big game about how you actually liked this one before.
Well, there's just, like, more not Bella and Edward stuff happening. Like, that's what I hate so much about the first two books, is that it is only ever about Edward and Bella. There's other stuff that does happen. Like, there's other concerns and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And the frustrating thing in this one is that they're also very dumb about it. Not that they're only ever talking about how much they love each other.
Yeah. When I made the joke in the last episode where I was like, an event happened, like, this one actually did have some events.
Yeah.
They weren't particularly interesting events. We didn't get to see them.
Yeah.
And, I hate everyone involved in these events, but they were at least events. So, next time we'll have other events.
Yeah, different and worse things will happen.
Yeah, I know some of the things, and I'm so not looking forward to having that conversation.
Also, I just have this note at the end because I wrote it down because I wanted to bring it up, but I never found a good place to put it. But there's one time when Bella is hanging out at Jacob's and she's just watching TV while he sleeps, and there's just a TV show on. There's just a cooking show on.
Yeah.
And she's watching some fancy dinner thing, and she thinks to herself that I would never put that much effort into Charlie's dinner. And I'm just like, hey girl, what about your own dinner?
Hey, what the fuck?
You wouldn't put that much effort into something for yourself? What is happening here?
Yeah.
Do you not enjoy eating? Do you not enjoy eating food?
I mean, apparently she won't have to soon.
Yeah.
Although that's kind of fucked up. She's there's a whole emphasis on the character of just oh, she's the only one who can cook, and then she's not gonna ever eat again.
I think the thing there is that, not that, but the thing about you're not gonna put any effort into your own, is that Bella is such a man-centered woman. She has centered men so deeply in her life that she didn't even think about herself. Would I enjoy this delicious, elaborate meal?
Yeah, and it's probably the Mormon thing.
It's probably the Mormon thing.
Well, what a depressing note to end on.
Yeah. As always happens with even in the last one where they're we all happily sparkled off into the sunset.
Yeah, I still really looking forward to book 6 when she goes to Egypt and marries that mummy.
Book 12 where she married the Kraken, that one was weird.
Yeah, it was a little weird. She Nope.
Oh yeah, back off of that thought.
I'm glad Edward wasn't here to read my thoughts this time.
Hey, no such thing as thought crimes. Well, folks.
Yeah.
As much as I complain, I am having fun with these.
Yeah, sure.
It is interesting to revisit them as an adult and be oh yeah, this is why I hated all of this.
Yeah, I get to hang out with my favorite person ever, and we get to just talk about the dumb things that are dumb.
Yeah. Anyway, hope you guys also had fun.
Yeah, and hope wherever you are, it's not as fucking cold as it has been here.
Oh yeah, we're in the middle of the Midwest snowpocalypse, and I am leaving the house as little as possible.
Yeah.
And I'm not using it as an excuse, I promise. Anyway.
All right, toodaloo.
Bye, friends.
Bye.
Thanks for listening. You can find us at mythingyourthing.com or at mythingyourthingpod on social media. Thanks to RK Maroon for letting us use their song Macaroni Art from the EP You Can't Eat Horses. You can get it at rkmaroon.bandcamp.com. If you have a thing you think we should talk about, email us at mythingyourthingpod@gmail.com, and maybe that could be our thing.